it's Friday, the weekend is almost here, and you are tuned in to Morning Tea right here on Noyaa TV. I am Ofosima Vivian, and I'm doing this with
Eugene Ni Amwa Gugu. And you know, Friday is all about wrapping up the week strong. And today we've got the headlines, sports, entertainment, and of course the big discussion to set the tone for the weekend.
So grab your tea, let's settle in and let's take you through the stories that matter. Streaming live on Facebook and YouTube this morning on Morning Tea on Noyaa TV. Let's take today's motivation. And today's motivation is taken from Aristotle, and he says, happiness depends upon ourselves. Aristotle care. In history, Keji are recorded his one of them. Happiness depends upon ourselves. Happy yourself because no one can happy you. Then when so ha ni oyake when ya weekend them how I miss if you keje to we won no afi to sani mo fia mamo ese o keje no ni ba wo mi share I can me share to me eyo e wo keje oli na kan be how I miss share ke onya ni ma gba sani how I miss share bola la papa kotwe ni o how I miss share.
Okay, what are the headlines saying? Let's take a look.
So news making headlines today from My Joy Online. Mahama lied about COVID-19, and this from Baumia Care. Mahama lied about COVID-19, and also in Channel 1 News Online. Africa deserves a seat at the table. This from the Foreign Affairs Committee. Also, Ghana, where we have Haruna Idrisu, yes, blocks attempts to sneak poor performing students into A-listed schools. Further, from Graphic Online. Ghana to table motion at UN recognizing slave trade as greatest crime against humanity. Chifo Mampon, 3 dead, 1 trapped after Galamsey pit collapsed on 5 youngsters. Same Graphic Online. And lastly, we have man who reportedly killed robbery and kidnapped near Kaswa to hide misappropriated employee.
Well, this morning, as we always do, entertainment and sports is up next after this short commercials.
Yo, La Noyaa TV, okay, sports. In Banyan, Kaimono Lakeshi, Giaju Kashi Soa, be a game on, okay, Mahanya, updates on matches, ni actual results, ni actual. She ho, Niji ho, Otashi, beyond the scores of Otashi, we are into details of matches, FA natural. I'm going to news complemented about the sports, me, okay, fair Mahanya, yeah, be Niji Saturday 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. She initiate okay game on any updates feel okay when if more a channel Ingbeji ni kozara chemi Murata Kegle ke shida play ha Morning TV ake lebine amaha news ni whatever go nuku she lebine obanu ye DNA when ye wo update me be of Sergio Busquets he's set to retire after so many years in football. Sergio Busquets Ukayo Dani Alves, Barcelona player, and I can rape allegations for when the court has been found not guilty, no, about the matches committee, no, about FC Barcelona to match, no, okay, the kind abite Mahani. Well, quickly, I know Sergio Busquets, a career ni a try, alone be matches ni a try FC Barcelona after so many years, be an a hand a boot Jenny about team group she Egbina ye Jeme we ba hang a boot war ba bi na ke sanine wa kwa beni I think nation baside MLS ya twabo fi eje meshi bia na ke he set to retire after Danny Alves he was sentenced to 4.5 years in prison. She many court he has been found not guilty, and the culprit is walking free just like that. When she sometimes say, "Okay, yeah, I mean case the court I can query many more and okay." Evidence papa ko afọ no alo anya ha evidence papa no chọ man she le fe na kan chumo be ye ni ji ya me yo ene e ba fe sami kongrake kemoko ke rape allegations the court the money ji I find not guilty sani you agbale tui na kan ko ke sani you agbale tui ja ke onyo ke sani afọ ko no ni sani eje ankwali sani ni wo me na wi money wo yo ne Danny Alves after spending over 3-4 million in court when the court has found him not guilty, he is free, not guilty after some years in prison. I mean, matches ni atwaye match day 1 Europa League matches the results till go ahead Eagles FC Barcelona the FC Barcelona you 1-0. Leo Ekebran Leo you 2-1. Aston Villa host Bologna Agbena 1-0 against Bologna. Rangers Itashani Genk will 1-0. Salzburg no Itashani FC Porto will 1-0. Stuttgart Mont Celta Vigo will 2-1. Utrecht Itashani Lyon will 1-0. Young Boys Itashani Panathinaikos will 4-1. 4-1 on Nekenji Beni results till match day 1 Europa matches na energy results ni Egypt nye huwe La Liga matches enyo commenté no niji LTK Oviedo Benabio na 1-1 ame try 5:30 p.m. ni FC Barcelona leji money try last game nye beke ni a win a game by 3-1 it away nye win a match by 3-1 yomo kumu ebadepo GBA ni na yomo walk up atashi wa kwe GBA job agashi I'm suspend bouts ni buyer now of I'm suspend bouts ni I may investigate Baobali Egbeli Yakemongo Yagashi in the space of a year Baobali fights ni know about 4 bouts in court man say professional boxer say in a year can now welcome me alone she will be in a year but money not more 5 or 6 times ni egba amena no jino ni GB keba out or walk over tashi be en obakwe no ni ameke agbene no ni sani amenya me feja ke is a nyom ye nyaminu ni ado to obata be no discuss neke issue ne no ni ji anagonyu ani le hu eme iwala boxing ring game ye ya batashi awe ni BP amuna bia na gbele conclude iba obi ana GB ke ba suspend ni bi allo bout ni ba ya no fe koni ame investigate Baobali Egbele ni ba wo work over tabi ene neke ichu ne oba deliberate ye you ba ka the match is cook many ba no wo okay fair ba hanye bere time no like she EPL yano work Sunday EPL ba no next week we Champions League ba no no only one ke she Ghana Premier League matches ba no wo ke hoba she ke wo ba wo na kan match self on ba nyeli ke time no one like she ke una ne ke fi no ba wa nyo fi page she ba subscribe ba like ba share koni money na ko le hu enye ko comment ba still anya ko answer me ye comment section name nke for ne ko ba ni ke money ba ni answer makile she still like she comment back yet washi ko nyame no braking ke entertainment ba channel braking ke enyame yo Teddy ameke entertainment ba channel o ke chi ohi kra still morning tea no yo ken mo do ma fa work 4:30 p.m. ka she 6 boye share na me ni oba awi ni BP beyond the scores no ko me ko ngbeji ni ko to no chebi morata ken mo do ma fa oba ko wo shi mene awonga mene Friday awonga wo mu abomu na yo mo to ke Julie biba o na yo mo no yo fe ba yo ke se no conversation shi mene ko uma nkumkuka ni ha wo ka wo mu ko ngene mene Brahima ke mene Friday ni Friday awonga abo na wotu o ba pe wo e be 4:30 to 6 p.m. ngeye yishe
Bena ke cho mi je ulanga swele lai mi ji onupa ke hani kasemo gbeni fe mo ni kasemo gbeni fe mo ni wa bona fe ni gawie mo e ya no na kan pepepe la Noyaa TV hu ka me kon e wo shishin bona fe ni kasemo ne ke gbe koko me fe ni fata he enye ni e ya no ameje gbaja no toko ni nsumo ni amewo gadangbe no ke ha gadangbe bi fe wo ke enye fata wo he ni wo no
yo ayemi me Achomi Ovula Alfredos ni anyete ni midomo la Director for Municipal Assembly na as Chief Executive ni domo wo ni me wono wa TV station la Noyaa TV ni amebo mode wa ame John ni bi ni han wo kase ni bi pi e wo masumo ake ho man bi fe bi orana di kama bata TV here ni wo so wa channel le ya la Noyaa TV ni kasemo ke mi na mo na me chon wo fe wona ni wo kwe ni ekudo wo ni fe mo ke wala shinle mi la Noyaa TV
action abla bi gbede wona e ba peshi ye la Noyaa TV no skole kwe gbede so ni ma so be oli akekeji ake ehye so be imishe ni eja ake so wa agwo moko nga gbene so abra ba mi ba ro Mene Friday, bola keke Friday ebe awo moko nga la Noyaa TV no yo mene church mo saji entertainment segment no yo ka shida play ba ha opleje ma wo ake e ha wala fo keji ake oye wala be oye no fe no shida ni je no kwa ha MC production crew be ake amechuno papa wo ke mo ke ayeko ke ha me keji ake ameku ona mi ye bi ene no na morning tea crew hello tea time crew be fe ona amefe ye bi ene enyeminu ni amagogo ke agbene Vivian ameke mankramo sajin na mi ya no Ghana ma name keko ko me fe baba ha ono no le ke no no ko fe ame ba kula mi fe ficho ame ha bo ni bo na ogbe fa no shira pele wo ka ba ha shomo ke inflation nyame no morata ake eke shomo ke inflation hu eba wo gbe no hu wona no ni 18 no e ha ni wole no ni 18 no ye entertainer ke agbene le no boxer ni 18 no about ni ibani wala ba mele alo ete echo nyongo na lete himeji abo no fe wole ake ba obali ele hu sade ni eko ehe mene hecho je mo saji no ba akwa ete o ko pe keke shi mismo alo masumo ko ni mahabo breaking news before ni nke entertainment no ni wo ba hwe breaking news ni yo meje Nigerian billionaire ni egbeji Jim Brown he married the 19th wife. That is a breaking news for you. Jim Brown, billionaire in Nigeria. Ngleshi alatani emi. He married 19th wife. Noji breaking news ni yo ye bi keke agbene na sajeni waba akwa hekwe. Nigerian content creator Madikis announces plans to break Guinness World Record by sleeping with 100 men a day. Keke agbene wakwe a parent issue a distress, displeasure, disgusting moment with Ghana Education Service GES. Many who were in the chomi ake ewe alo follow chomi ake jemi alade ni eje ngleshi alata ni amle ni efolala ni ewol efolala ni title leji Johnny akewo textbooks ami ni bekebi bakase ye no ho esa echomi ake bekebi bio alo bekebi ne afik pa 7 good years are compiling them with a lot of works to do in a displeasure ni issue ye jeme eke agbene na gbe kra be ibakebo ake sakode is hosting a rapaholic concert ye kumase ni amle ni ene Shatawale Charles ni ama mensa Shatawale is shock netizens and citizens and rectizens of Ghana ni eha main pina ekpe amehe many who you in a Shatawale chomi ake sakode rapaholic ni ibaya no Kumase he's sponsoring, he's there full support wakwe esajine ni kekle no work content creator Madikis no ajishishi ebalete ni oblayo ni you are a content creator ni o English alata ni amilelo ba higbe a bigger personality of course ni yojibo and I mean a woman with a higher personality and dignity should not even have it at all take break Guinness World Record by sleeping with 100 men a day. I mean, like a virtuous lady. Kaya wabahiwe joni like a bibla popo ake yo papa na mo ana ehe ni keji ake oke ene ni afon ono ni bi papa oye Yes, I am Guinness and then on here that basi ya feed the biggest jollof pot, hello biggest pot of jollof ni eho they feeding me baba. Maybe fe ni bi koko make and break Guinness World Record. The ballet ni buako ke hi oha son bana bole ani ehi efemolo abia you have to share your thoughts and comments in the comment section. Ni beni tea time bi en ya no tea time show money show en ya no am back ani e hawo. And then maybe Vivian Titri, maybe Rahel, maybe Teddy. Okay, if you were supposed to be in her shoes, would you do that to break Guinness World Record just to gain the fame? Okay, 100 men by here a day. Ni me really Vivian Tatas being ani ekwe ihenga. Ekwe 100 men mean I can whisper 100 men far. A day of facho, I had 2 hours back again. If you are killing show, I'm going to watch it. Follow me, it show displeasure. GSB, I can allo angbe, and Yemi Alade, Johnny Lala, I can Wojami, couldn't be I can say, in a wa. Ni ekwe ba follow ekoko me anani amebi ya school eche no no wara ni obie bashiani bede oba bede ba I'm looking for my journey bela kecho echombo ni kedia ke oto ayu lele amewoji ami ni achome we have dignitaries Ghana my name ni abadia akase amehini osaji for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah a founder a founder Ghana my name ni ewoji ami JB Dankwa Obeche Bilamte Edward Akufo-Addo amesanjin ke ni bi ye Jomesa Saba ameye she wonye men komeni ka she lolo in the 21st century sani wonye wakasi ame wonye Kwame Osaidesba Safo Kantaka wonye meni abanye akase amehini ni wobani woko in the creative art industry emle but wonye Ibrahim Mahama ejeme despite media can also be there. When I get a museum, like just look at what is going on over there. Or when you can be papa, oh yeah, I'm she a ballet and wakasio English alata lala moye me. Why you Charles near my mess? Why you stop? Why you sack or there? And yaka one no I will be. Let's taste for Ghanaian goods, not other foreign goods. Energy no follow it. On this search on me, okay. I've piley a look homeworks baba oh I may be a bekeni I think about 7 good years. Kajaki basha. One watching baba oni babasha. I can share ni ikeba ni ikeba fe yejeme na gbeli amon oba you Saturday rapaholic if you like e bagba if you within the weekend ni hanye liake concert by no live in Kumasi you know he was ete Kumasi nete aba otumfo de jomo ni pafe e concert o fe wale ben concert by ale aha mo Shatawale is shocky bo fi many you Shatawale chomi yake e pa sponsor Saturday rapaholic ni bayano ya Kumasi ni ame ni lele ebe meni no won sponsor say allo sponsorship deal say ni ya no Shagzy Shatawale's taxi which is Shagzy is the sole sponsor for JSO but he's part of the sole sponsors ni sponsor Saturday rapaholic ya Kumasi ni ame in a shop of fame remember what you hey Shatta je wo ke Saturday your problem and your beef and can she like a Saturday ke Shatawale when they merge and only collabo in music because I can't remember this song meji wo ye e Charlie ke o bolala to fine was Saturday ke Shatta these two personalities allo these two do they are like a big one they Saturday more in our ake enyeminu your music industry me lele HE say ke fe rapaholic are we looking out for something coming out from the two of them, or it's just a show business? These are questions that has been raised by people and netizens of Ghana, especially Shatawale and then Sarkodie's fans. One panoko bekenje amedenglu, ani ameba fe lala, ani aba perform your stage eko no bakwe, energy no want to ani one ejeme. Ma making sure ake Sarkodie rapaholic I am very going to be there. Kumasi die ke die no. Oh I will be there. Ma kwe boni di ba ya like ke ba hani nearly Kumasi. Here I come. Here we come. The entertainment segment of Noyaa TV. Kumasi, here we come. Mede Friday, Brahima. I go go be Jenny Woke. What picture Jimo Sajie, Baba Wakaimo, Ake Tita me e anololo. I go ke Vivian ameke Sajie How. Kacho Hikra, Skobi Kwenpeche David ni Anyete Anan Obanye Ochame Braki. Miss Woni Ofeni be Etepe Ami. Like, follow and share. Koni me koko me hu anna neke ni fi mo ne he say many baba kona me hu amina he say kai wa ga Friday ka ba no ba wo minga ya ke me he ikabo we no ka yo no ba na ko inde ko nga wa ba ke ki la jibe ba ye o ba pe wo ye bi ene wo ka o ba tashin nke nye me wa gbala HRG mo sanje me ficho o ba hani stick and stay of people down. This is la Noyaa TV o ba pe wo ye bi ene.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. It's time to visit the news portals and see what's making the headlines across the country this morning. Today we have quite a number of topics to discuss about. When Sanjini Obari, I'm a family, about Jalami, baby, but not feeling of your one musician. It was first headline of Ghana. That is about, yes, the slave trade is the greatest crime against humanity. Muhammad raising 80th anniversary, 80th General Assembly, UN affair. Muhammad raising can issue the belly. Ahale hebe ake ebaha speech ni every neke sanageshin the greatest sin, the greatest crime against humanity was slave trade. They were like it happened years ago. Bemini afoko mikebo men koko membani na shimene wakayo na kan incident keji when you segment wakayo beni, and we became independent as a nation. Well then many of our na kan sanye ni money ba wa mini arine kesanye di wadenche when you ni gogo ni go ke we shine ko ba ni kesanye ni gogo la wafa.
Thank you.
Yo ni amagogo mene ke obawe ne kesane ni kejo pa ne kesane ni aha wo mahi nyelo John Dramani Mahama ni ke hegbene yake ha speech Bemina for General Assembly in UNA, that was the 80th General Assembly. Ni erase na can issue name. Well, like slave trade ne Edgar Africa is na Ghana as a state and as a nation. She won majority of the African nations, both Anglophone and Francophone, like she what he Bluffome allow why he colonized as she for a long time. It is still even not caring. Though no like a neo-colonialism. She was working from the angle of slave trade. Money, only Kedokwe, signing woman here, and men or your care.
Well, slave trade has really retrogressed Africa. At a point, I would agree with him.
Okay.
Now, let us look at the economic hardship. Well, the economic hardship, when the Europeans came, we read in our history books, like, year 1471, when the Portuguese came, they saw alluvial gold. Alluvial gold, they won it. I'm a banner, Manchako, naturally king, Nana Kwame Nana, answer. Good. I'm a gelé ni be. I'm a bongo de Lumokia. Now, how many I should say? Automatically, slave trade has started, but the slave trade itself, a can't slave the buying and selling of human beings across what the Atlantic Ocean to the Americas and what the West Indies. And in this case, history will tell us that the West Indies, that is the Asian countries as well. Why? Meaning, African human resource LT. Okay, ni je me kume pekeke amekete abled human beings.
Thank
you. Now, ni onake blofo ye yomo kode kwa keshi. No man is an island.
Yes.
Everybody was born with a gift. That is why one philosopher will tell you that is why when you give birth to every child, so those people you are taking away from the African shores, not only Ghana, not only Nigeria, but most African countries, with the exception of Liberia, which was not colonized and it wasn't a country, but all African countries which slave trade occurred there. Their human resource that they have to use in developing this African nation was what? Taken away. Nimido akamete. Only they work on what? Plantations. Nikake plantation, a very vast acres of land. Rice plantation, tomatoes plantation, you understand it? So they were using our African resource to what? Develop their country. Now, a little bit history about it, then we reconnected to what Mahama said and why he said that. They worked under harsh conditions and they saw that the African labor is cheap. Their own people couldn't work in those plantations. But the African, because of our strength and our skin color, we can endure harsh weather conditions. They went there. These are people who could have stayed behind and what? Help Africa to what? Develop. But they took them away. You separated them from what? Their families. These are people who could have helped their families achieve more. Now, fast forward. We came to where the southern states signed a bond with what? The British, to protect them against the external aggression of what? The Ashantis. That was the bond of 1844. That was where colonization started. That was where slave trade actually started. But in England, it wasn't only Africa slave trade was being here. But in England, in 1803, they banned slave trade in England. But you know, no kuna ban still there one way or the other. Fast forward to 1888, that is where the whole world, Brazil and other places, they came together and they said, okay, they have planned slave trade. Now, if you go to American countries, you go to European countries, and you go to Asian countries, we have black people there. Yes. Go and let's do a little bit of thorough research. Some of the Americans' greatest scientists, they have African origin. Do you understand it? Good. You have used my resources to develop your country. Now, I need a compensation to it. Someone might say, like as we said off air, that it's been long overdue, more than 100 years. Why are you still complaining about it? And I gave you a typical example, and I was saying that, okay, what you stepmother in Ghana is what? Where you stepmother?
She did money for
good. Ni everybody say ni ani keche. Ona ke kia ojepopue na kan ni se ni ani ani efibue e your dream me. E what e hani socially onye ni okeme ashra ojoba. Because of what na kan ni se ni ani ani efibue. Ni wokwa yoku obla you feel ni kula to the abonai. Bebli ni e da na kan ni efe mi e ye ichomi. A war psychologically slave affected what Africa, retrogressed what Africa. Now, Okaya ke bemini in Kuma bana independence, and you were saying of air, okay, you blame Nkrumah. I said no, he's not to be blamed. We blame our own self. You know the reason. On the 24th of February 1966, when the first coup happened, staged by the Supreme Military Council 1, led by General Ignatius Kutu Achampo. Ona, Bemini a stage na kai coup. Who were the people behind it? Nkrumah had formed allies with what? Russia. America and the European countries, England, they didn't like Nkrumah's association with what? Russia. That is the long-standing feud between Europe and Russia. No, America and Russia. No. It's still, but it still happens now. Do you understand it? That is why we say that what you do today will affect your tomorrow. Are you getting me? So Muhammad going to the General Assembly and speaking about it is just to let the world know that Africa has been cheated socially, culturally, economically.
It's one more phone now. Must be a KG or your German and slave trade. If from global inequalities here, KG African states here.
Exactly my point. There is inequality. Look at the just ended 2025 Athletics Championship. Como America, many Joffrey Hani. They are athletes, they are all blacks. Look at how do you call it? The American national football team, 2010 World Cup. Those who could relate, they understand what I'm saying. Majority of their squad was what they were blacks. You getting what I'm saying? So when it comes to the human resource, Africa has really been cheated. Now, fast forward 2025. We're in the 21st or 22nd century. 21st day. Or 22nd? 21st century. See, when an African child sees a white man, because of the ideology which we were given, look at how the African child will behave to
African children.
Majority. Majority of them will behave in a certain way. They will look at the white man so strange. Now, we knew that civilization started from what? Africa. When you go to the Bible, in the Old Testament, there was a country mentioned, Egypt. Was it not in Africa?
It is.
So why are they telling us that God is a white man? You see, they have brainwashed us. That is what Muhammad is talking about. It is not that fast forward 2025, Ghana cannot develop because of slave trade, which happened more than 100 years ago.
Okay, if they have brainwashed us, meaning of your education, okay, or like education, you know, we uphold so much. No, no, okay, education. After local, I look back, we buy a checking again.
Only education. Who brought education? It was the whites, the British. When they settled here and they built castles, well, the initial reason why they built castles was to keep in store, like a storeroom for their weapons and things they bring. Later, they transformed it so that the British, governor would also stay there. Now, later, they started building what? Schools, and they mentioned it that what? Castle schools, when the missionaries were coming. So that the missionary that had a connection with our ladies here, when they gave birth, so that they what? They go to school. That was where it started from. Are you getting me? And if you look at it, they have infused a lot of science we learn here. You and I went to school, what I say science, mixtures, separation of mixtures. How many science laboratories do we have here?
It's a big question.
It's a big question. That is why I'm saying that them brainwashing us is still continuous up till now. Up till now, it still continues. How many basic schools would you go and you find science laboratories there? I'm a put in how many? Are you getting me? That is what I'm saying. It's still no. Today you and I, we are sitting here in Africa, but we are speaking the white man's language.
I'm a official language.
Official language. Let me tell you what. If you say you want to eschew all these things, what I tell you say that now, what I got Bible no money man. Zimmerman, who was he? He was a Portuguese. He wrote it. So this is the brainwashing we are talking about. So we cannot even write our own Ghanaian language into what? Translate the Bible in our own Ghanaian language. It took what a European to do what? To do it. That's exactly what I'm talking about. So he's speaking about that culturally, economically, emotionally, we have been denied of equal access to, let's say, development. Because, listen, if we can cast our mind back, way back in 2004, fast forward the second term of ex-president John Ajekun Kufuor, when Ghana discovered oil. I think that was in 2007, if my memory serves me right. In 2007, my memory serves me right. When Ghana discovered oil, what did we do? We had Ghanaians and Africans studying petroleum and engineering in KNUST. Where they practicality, where is it? Nothing. They will travel to the Americans and European universities and learn the practicality out of it. At the end of the day, ex-president Kufuor invited Talo Oil, that's a foreign-based company, to come and drill their office. To come and drill the oil what? For us. Is it not brainwashing?
It is.
Now, have we won't be denied? Now, the oil they are drilling, it is on our soil. Attack Cape 3 points. Do you understand? It is on our soil. It is our natural resource. But do you know the deal? See, the deal is, if I drill 100 barrels of oil a day, do you know how much Ghana gets? Ghana gets 10 and the 90 goes to them. Because the machines and everything they brought, we can't pay for them. This is exactly what I'm talking about. This is exactly what President John Dramani Mahama is speaking to.
Sanene keje wo girl wa nyi me be wona ko ba pa ke sanye emi wa na apani sani wana be baba woni wonya wo ke gbe ne ke sanye chimole wa sanye koko meni sani wo ke woni asala ya lo wo kwe noni saje wo wi oye woji amle keje okwe ba mian ke lokoba out away the menewake money in Tony Domestica NPP for the 2028 elections ni baba ni again Mahama lied about COVID-19. The Bekeji or fair research and work when Joban, the about me Kashi, noni honey Ghana te make economic shutdown or economic breakdown was the main factor was COVID-19 Russia Ukraine war like and noni honey Ghana basing economically and financially again NPP be a rain a kind government nikano amehe amewomli a war it can be I used to look at propaganda none
European countries and Asian countries that after COVID-19 they gave them a lot of money to inject into the economy, but they misused the money to the extent that they brought in levy. I mean, a cake at boom. Now, you come in. I
mean, embezzle funds.
Just this embezzling funds. This was sheer propaganda from the NDC. I mean, like allegations they placed on what the NPP. Now, when Mahama came into power, he realized that no, going back in time, 2020, when the lockdown and everything happened, the ports were shut, the land ports were shut, land borders were shut, the airport was also what? Shut. And these three I have mentioned, that is where government gets chunk of its resources from. All these places were shut. There was no export. There was no import. The little resource we have, that is exactly what we have to use. Are you getting me? So economic shutdown totally. Imagine, I pay, let's say, 5,000 cedis a month. I feel renovation fuel in here for the next 3 months. Don't come to work because of the problem. You want this 5K year, manage more for the next 3 months. Look at your utility bill.
Transportation.
Transport. No, I mean,
look
at your food. Look at your clothing. We are big and miscellaneous. No one fit no health
emergency issues.
And you know, in Africa here, when you marry your wife, automatically you marry the family. Family will start depending on you. Can you do 5,000 imagine? Are you getting me? So, translating this, government had a lot of things to do. We are grappling with hospitals. Not most districts do not have hospitals. 2, schools. Some of the schools were under trees, dilapidated schools. Do you understand it? Teacher allowances, it was crashed out by the elsewhere NDC government. When Akufo-Addo came back, he restored it. We need money to pay these people. Doctors were moving out. We need to resource them. Housing is a major problem. Roads. Are you getting me? One district, one factory. That one is debatable, but we can see some of the districts being put up.
One village, one down.
One village, one down. That one too is another discussion altogether. Because me, I don't know where the dam is. Honestly speaking, I don't know where the dam is. You understand? So all this infrastructural development needs what? A lot of money. So when the COVID-19 money came, the little money we had, we were using it. Surplus, Jimmy. Do you understand? So it will be like when things reopened, if it market tax, BBB coming back. And the NDC were saying, okay, the COVID-19, we still have a COVID tax. But as of now, 2025, go to any supermarket. When Ohemi na print paper and COVID tax 1% of the amount you bought your item. We still pay it after now. And the government who spoke about it, the same government is taking it now. So you see that really COVID-19 really affected. It is not only Ghana, global economy. Some of them have recovered early. Do you know why? Because they had a buffer stock. They had a buffer. Imagine we stop importing rice. Can we survive in this country? We can't. Because the rice we produce here is not enough. It's not enough to cater for the population and the demand. It's not enough. At the point, we had to go to Burkina Faso to import what? Tomatoes. In other African countries, do you understand it? Import was totally crashed off. And government wasted a lot of money on imports. You get me? And the medication, when you go to the various hospitals, look at the medicines, especially the government hospitals. Government will procure these medicines. There are other private pharmaceuticals who procure these medicines. But for example, Kolemu 37 police hospital, government procures these medications for them. And government retooled their equipment.
Can you face some comparison here? Come on. NPP, I'm a ways by which I'm a manager, I'm a economics as compared to NDC. Take you away in your I'm a party.
It will depend on the eye in the look.
Many in the book.
Put me in a tight corner. I'm not sounding political here. But truly, when NDC came, there was a reduction in fuel prices. People were saying that there has been reduction in, let's say, goods. For example, commodities, let's say a gallon of oil, which skyrocketed to 1,000 Ghana cedis. Now it is around 550, 600, 650. I said to be correct, I stand to be corrected. You understand? We know that the few months they spent in office, it was that. Now, back to NDC, the same NDC, their first term, John Mohammed's first term, actual first term, that was from 2012 to 2016. I don't remember very well. We had energy challenges. He told us that he was fixing it. Yes, the car ship power, it came. And they fixed it. Now we are enjoying what? Energy. Do you understand? But economically, it had a toll on every Ghanaian. There was total blackout in Ghana to the extent actors, Yvonne Nelson and Sarkodie, they took to the streets, converged at Accra Mall, and what? Lit candle in a vigil. I do remember that very well. It had economic hardship on 1, the hairdresser, 2, the barber, 3, someone who sells pure water, 4, someone who sells ice block, 5, someone who operates coastal. If ideally, eventually, it even had a toll on the media. Do you know why? When our lights go off, we have to put on the generator. And what do you use in generator? Is a diesel. And the prices of diesel around that time was high. So if you compare these two, you will say that NPP has a legitimacy in claiming that it was the COVID that shut down the economics handling of the economy.
Together with the Russian-Ukraine war. It make like a statement.
Yeah, the Russian-Ukraine war, that statement, I don't really believe in it. Do you know why? The sugar we consume is coming from America, South America, Brazil to be precise, and other nations. You look at the rice and other things, the Indomie and other things is coming from. How many of the things we consume here coming from Russia or Ukraine? But I understand, because Russia, one way or the other, controls oil. So immediately there is an increase in oil. Virtually all commodities, there is an increase in it. So partially you agree with them because it gave a toll on the world economy. There was an increase in oil. So everything will be an increase. So if the government puts tax on fuel, everything will be taxed it will rise. Are you getting it? So you look at the two of them, they all have their advantages and then their disadvantages.
Next story of archaeology about the education minister, so that's the MP for Tamale. The how Nigeria. Ekasane ko je minister ni ke je ko mo na ya ke shi e no ko ni Ghana wa your education system e kai shi bia na e close gaps fair keji ma put it into that context again engamo echimo buye fe anani achomo ni age poor performing student wo A listed schools alo category A schools again echimo na kan gbajie fe alo gbaju ye ni me chomo jamani ameke beke be ne bomode ya BCM ni akame wo school ni A schools ni wale ni organe the schools ni bomode keji ebani kasimomi ni challenge bi ye me na me ni joba teacher say fe abomode e ka shi echimo e la ke shi na ke beke bi akome e use ke beke be kuma ni ka jo ko na aggregate 35 ke 37 na be A listed school me na fi o jeme ka je ni protocol ni akala o jeme alo ake brown envelope e cho okono she be ko na beke je no ko ni e ba ni ajina kan so me ni ko ba na kan sanye. It's a pressing issue that Keji Okwe Beke like a way to school. Ni onye culture ke wo school ke yanu akase ni shi mo oya fe na kaini agbene results no ke ba njibe o fail at the 35 to 37 me shia akeya ni ne ke beke ne ake brown envelope tron okono shini akelajo A school category A school so someone na check me shi keji oya through the schools about bale category A schools ni bo modern joba both boys and girls who can make schools come their category A schools.
Before you go to SHS, what you mean basic school? What basic school education? Again, it is the basics. We are not being introduced to what education. Honestly speaking, let me use myself as an example. Baby, in your class 6, when I was in class 5, I wasn't serious. Class 6, I became serious. JHS 1, I was serious. 2, I was serious. 3, yes. 3, when I got to JHS 3, I thought I was thinking I was up there, so I relaxed a little. When the BC came, I have to sit up again. SS1, when I went in Ake, you are new to the system. I'm just getting SS2, SS3, and I became serious again. What I'm saying is, what can you use basic school? Don't use it. The guy had 37, he had 35, and probably Maths in a 6, Science in a 7, that one I understand. Don't use that one to judge. But closing the gaps and placing this school, closing the gaps for placing these children or these students, category A school, say, I think it's a wrong call. And I beg to differ with the minister. The reason I'm saying this is, I'm okay. Do you know that if you have a bad character, or I have a bad character, and you have a good one, and I associate myself with you, it is that, okay, fine. We are, let's say, like 5 in this room. I am the only bad nut here. And you guys have good characters. And I come to join you. The tendency of you guys influencing me with your good character is very high. And the tendency of me influencing you with my bad character is very low.
A mixed statement, okay? This time around, the placement it is based on merit. You deserve it. Like a she drunk she many na me born modern atron hey kumena kama John give me a problem eh Jena kefi kebe na e test by the banya le school Kate Jimmy ba face serious like me come at the early stage I me born modern term she can share SHS that mean a jomo me billion e born modern.
So if a statement is talking about corruption, cabin corruption,
exactly.
Fine, so be it. But not denying the child of, because I always like the chapter 5 of the 1992 Constitution, which spells out human rights. And one of the human rights is what? Right to education. You understand it? So in as much as I am a child and I am a native of Ghana by birth, and I want to go to school, fine, every school has its category.
Exactly.
You understand? But the Constitution does not spell out that if you had aggregate
6, I know 7, maybe Noyaa 8.
If you do that, the schools who are low will continue to be low.
She only like free SHS in that sense, like they can be a phenomenon low allow aggregates near potential. I mean, your schools, but allow schools near your top schools nanny. I feel like I'm a woman KG in where they can come and put me like she. I'm a woman motion. I come schools near your name. I'm a performance guy. I'm a modern crowd far beyond Bimley and Mamma York. JHS. She Angolani minister and can the corruption, generalization. Well, like a car, my BC, or banner follow Comeni, I'm a brown envelope about chocolate or Sally
yeah, so if that's why I said earlier that if a Angolani caught in Kevin corruption, then he's right on that. But if a Angolani is like preventing the child from getting access to category A schools, that is why I differ. But in Kevin corruption, I think the parents are right, because let's say my child had aggregate 6 and maybe someone's child had 35. She let go and now would go. That's a problem. That's a problem. That's really a problem, because I know of a child. I don't know only child. I'm a great point cartier, but I have a child who had 11. You know. I had another child who had the same 11 in this other college, and sometime. Oh, I think this one the girl is going to read general arts, English in a 2, science in a 1, social in a 2. Computerized system, and I have a problem with this computerized system. It started in 2005. That was. I'm an experience to that. I didn't get school. In our time, we choose 3 schools in our school. I had to walk. I had to take car from Lahire to Ministry of Education. When your stadium, good. I think after flag in the Independence Square. Before you get to former Ministry of Agri, Janoba share court complex say I can board Emamoshi. Those who were around 2005, 2000, they can relate to what I'm saying. I get A4 sheet interpretation. So based on your index number, Angman Greater Accra, it was school said who choose it based on your index number. You have to go through and look at the stretch I'm talking about. Obaya board to board, and look at the number of Ghanaians board to board, board to board. Check it. You can in school say I fake placement there, so you have to check. So you see. So do you know what? I had to start school in September. Do you know the time I went to school? Into school 22nd November. My colleagues stay in September. 1.5 months. 22nd November, 22nd December. I 1 month. First day. So I had to go to a private school. And in private school around that time in Ejalawa, my feeding fee around that time, my feeding fee alone for the 10 around that time was 300 cedis, 2005. 300 cedis. That is someone's salary today. Are you getting what I'm saying? The system, that way of choosing schools for children, that problem has persisted over and over and over and over and over again. And every year you will get students who did not have school. Last year it happened. That was fighting for a child to get a school. Eventually, we had a school for him, for her at Lamoni. Last 3 years, I was at Ginat Hall. Last 2 years, I was at Ginat Hall. And this girl, 15 a million in school. But a colleague, Nina 25, at school.
At school,
you see, so this problem has been there. So if our Honorable Minister for Education is saying that he's cutting all ties and a Chimobuye fake and Haneke Corruption Act, they deprive those who deserve to get category A schools or who deserve to go to school, but because of corruption, they are not going to school. I think if one can do more.
If one can do more. You be abladia di wanye no lolo wanjala sajani mene worione amemi wana apani tambeni ni gogo tonya ni ewuro na trimo ke hasajani ewure njoba chombo heni lapse say yo ke heni ni wale ni damo bona fe no fe wonu shishi joba wake la no ya tv da ne wake sanji ngomo baba nye boya na download no follow your Facebook la Noyaa TV ke YouTube wake la Noyaa TV wa story concloni oba treaty no Shimon oba for Michelle oba break ni ke oba kwe sanji kokome ni yo opolon
me buago Yo Doris Jackbrokwa Bene. Nke she npe la Noyaa TV to ebolo ifen onupai ke can be. Ini ada fitra me she ada fitra. Link ba fun pa no ma ha mo fem. Ake echencho. Ye neken station ne wo ba boen twemo ke ni kasemo ho. Da ho. Oba die no kokpo ni ba chon wo ni kasemo koken. Sane ba ko ken me she ke tumo ke nyamo bibi ni wo ba anya wo fe ke ha wo ma no ya ke ha wo nyeme bibi ni bagba ko hu no ya o blantai ke bibi fe meni school ke meni best school fe mo wo ba gbe mo fe mo ni wo nya ke ye ni kase mo me ni bi ni wo ba yue he e ko me ba do mo shi ke ha CCHD safe programming Kagbene absolute healthcare the Giano to New York and Agbomono ya. When yes, ni be slot the be ni ba wo ma na mo. Can ni be ni ba hele ma shi. Can ni be ni wo fan wo ba nya wo susu we. Ni e ha ni wo no ya ahwele. Ye la ma mi ke ha la ma bi. Wo be ka nya nu gbe mi twa da fi na ke. E chenchon wo ba push ke no ko ye ne ke pa ne no. Ye ne ke TV station ne. Ni ga ho wo ba ji wo he chile ke no ko ken. Wo be nya pa gbe. Ibaba echencho ibabu nyeradon kemituebo
Nya fa na cho me atwe Sarah ngbe fen di Sarah sechi ho ne la apapa oku asala nshapo egbe di Mega Grace Beke benefe la Noyaa TV nkwo kenye na ne ntashedi ne hie phone menkwe la Noyaa TV aja ka meji oni bi papai ye no amechon wo ne ame wo nga ye ni bi srote na meji amechon wo mi mo fe mo na nga wo kejo mi ne mi na ke ameba ke ha gadan mi efe ni no fe no ni amejio woke kasio ni wo min kase ni bipi
La Noyaa TV number 1 station in Labadi. Come on, station ko be je ni mi fi mention La Noyaa TV number 1 yo mo fiamo support la nuoyo benye lake Labadi wo noni. Labadi is the money land large gateway to Africa ni La Noyaa TV e bi ene wona me I'm Baba Rolex from Labadi la man fem for me Germany in jail. Keep watching La Noyaa TV number 1. Mwah.
Achomi Agnes Mensah. Each one your professional city managers. Min council La Noyaa TV ke ha nye fe ke ha ni bi pakpa na amejio educative and entertainment programs na me feel da keda ameba ake shamba wala manfe ke gan dangbe fe e wo min council ameke hanye ake mo fiamo akwe ame La Noyaa TV the best e ba ke ha gan dangbe fe onye fe nya wo mo ami ye chiko memi. Bye bye.
If I show me Millicent now quality quality, in shop egg beji, me quati ni says clothing, where la oko asra, if I ne what feel nibi babao, to work wedding gown, work suits, women's suits, men's wear, but what feel neke palazzo ne bane, work nibi babao, or me recommend La Noyaa TV, ke hanye ake mo fe mo akwe ke ha entertainment ni amefio ni kase mo ni yo jeme kono wanya wakase ni bi pakpa ke jeme eja ake ameba ke ha gandan bi fe ke
Yo be ablada bi won yan lo won yesajiam La Noyaa TV no okwo woke o follow your Facebook La Noyaa TV, YouTube La Noyaa TV what wa for me few wa gbole wa kwa mi few ni woke wo ba ko woke sanje ba channel dani woke sanje koko me wanchi sanje ba channel woke Keji okwe ni wo foreign affairs committee ni your Ghana ne wo foreign affairs committee ameke akesi Africa deserves a seat at the table. Keji in the aspect of UN ameke Africa deserves a seat at the table ni foreign affairs committee in Ghana ne. In 1 hour I can make Ghana pe ni ba fit man be selfish ameke Africa Africa will live. I can wait for Africa deserves a seat at the table in UN.
Oh yeah, Africa deserves a seat at the table in UN. When it comes to specifically the Security Council.
Exactly.
Now, I want to jumble the structure of the Security Council UN. Now, Keji Okwe, from 1939 to 1945, that was where the Second World War, okay, it started from 1939, ended in what, 1945, Second World War, are you getting me? First World War, 1914, the end 1919. Now, so if you look at the Second World War, it spanned over what, 6 good solid years. A lot of lives were lost. Properties were lost. People lost their livelihoods. I get me. Now, the structure is that many your Security Council were those who were victorious, countries who were victorious in the Second World War. The Americans and the Europeans, they came together. Do you understand? They formed allies and they fought the Asians. So the war took place in what? Burma. Good. Ghana, this was where most African, I mean even all African countries with the exception of what? Ethiopia, were under what? Colonial rule. Now, these African countries who were being colonized, their army were being recruited to join the forces with the British army and other European countries' what? Army, to fight on behalf of their colonies or their colonial masters. So if I have joined forces with you, British or Britain or UK was one of the countries who was successful. France was another. Among other Africa, France, Burkina Faso, Togo, Cote d'Ivoire, they were all colonized by what? France. Ghana, Nigeria, Britain. The Gambia, Britain. So the countries in Africa, their soldiers were recruited. We fit a British soldiers and we fought, and you were victorious. So whereby you are setting up the Security Council and you've given this condition, why is it that the people who helped you in fighting, in winning, why is it that we don't deserve? This is what Mama was talking about earlier, that Africa has been brainwashed to the extent that we are being relegated to the background. You took our natural resources, you took our human resources, you used our human resources in fighting for the Second World War. You won the Second World War, yet you didn't recognize our efforts.
This woman for the Africa, look at Ghana, free.
I heard, I don't know for a fact, but where I heard it from, I think when you go to the Buckingham Palace in UK, there's a room. Gold. So England might not go there. Where did they get their gold from?
Yeah.
Thank you. They looted away with our resources. In as much as we have to, we have ourselves blamed in some aspects. Do you understand? They also looted away with our gold. Are you getting me? Now, fast forward. After the 1945 war, in 1948, 3 years down the line, there was a riot in Ghana. What happened? They promised that when the soldiers, when you are out there, the Ghanaian soldiers, when you are out there, we are going to take care of your families. We'll take them to hospital. Your salary, we are going to give it to your family, so your families can feed. But what happened after they returned? Some people were amputated. Others were disabled. Others, when they came back, they lost their livelihoods. They weren't paid. They were going through pain. They couldn't have money to access even what? Healthcare. They were dying. That led to the shooting of what? The 3 ex-servicemen. You understand? So if we say what the Europeans slave trade, because imagine, if we were not colonized and there was no slave trade, do you think Africa will join up with the Europeans? Do you think the shooting of the 3 ex-servicemen will happen? That is what Mama is talking about. That is what the Foreign Affairs Committee in Parliament is talking about. Africa has been disrespected for quite some too long a time, and certainly we deserve it.
Because KGO Kwame Nkrumah a vision about Pan-Africanism when you were as African states.
That was why on the 24th of February 1966, when the SMC formed a coup led by Ignatius Kutu Achambo against Nkrumah, that killed the African dream. It killed the African dream in the sense that Nkrumah was a close ally to Russia. He was out of the country when this thing happened, the coup happened. You understand? And history will tell you that the Americans and the British, they were behind. They were infiltrating into the minds of these people, the police and the military. They came together and formed the Supreme Military Council that staged a coup against Nkrumah. And Nkrumah's life has been attempted. They have attempted to kill Nkrumah for quite a long time.
Yes.
Good. A bouquet of flowers. You understand? And Nkrumah's trusted person. Are you getting me? So we allowed ourselves for the Europeans to use us. And this is what happened. When they staged the coup, that killed the African dream. It killed the African dream. So if we had united as one African country, would have gotten far. Because about 80% of the resources, natural resources the world needs, is coming from Africa. It's coming from Africa. Tell me an European country that has much more gold than Africa. Tell me an American country, either South or North American country, that has more diamond than Africa. Tell me which continent has more natural resources than Africa. And yet we have been relegated to the background and highly disrespected. You see, it's a worry. It's a worry. It's a worry.
We have been relegated to the background and highly disrespected. Ni Oba treat last story. Chifomampong.
Yeah.
3 dead, 1 trapped after Galamsey's pit collapsed on 5 youngsters. Beke be Miss Saniku am in school. She Beke I'm a Shishian and a 5. The camera chat. Go, when the Galamsey, illegal mine, anyone near me lolo. Ochi ne will name fear no me will rule about Galamsey.
I get me. Look at, come to Accra. Accra, there's no Galamsey here, but come to Accra. You see kids on the streets, school going age. School is in session, now school has reopened. They're on the streets, on the traffic light. Okay. Are telling me on the harsh weather conditions. The sun is scorching. When the weather changed and it's about to rain, on the rain, Charlie are money. Why? Because Sunday hustle. All this thing has a rippling effect. And you know, if the fight against Galamsey, not politicizing it, whether NPP, NDC, if we are taking the fight of Galamsey so seriously. Yesterday I was watching the news on a sister station, and I think a nutritionist was a doctor, let me put it this way. A doctor from the Ghana, from the police hospital, says the kind of research they have are carrot, are cabbage, are tuber crops, the yam, the cocoa yam, are tuber crops. Charlie, if you see the kind of metals in it, you and I, you ask yourself, what are we eating? And these are the very things that causes what? Kidney failure and liver problems. The same water they are destroying, the same water you and I will drink. How many Ghanaians can afford bottled water? And the bottled water crap, that one is also even questionable. And the Ghana Water Company has said that if we do not raise the fight of Galamsey, or we are not serious about it, it will get to a point Ghana has to import water. Hence, for the increase in utility bills, PURC announced that in January, coming January, utility will go up again. You understand? It's a worrying trend in Ghana. It's worrying. It's very worrying. And you see these youngsters who have lost their lives, and you ask yourself, this could have been, or one of them could have been somebody in Ghana who could have been important to the nation.
Exactly.
Human resource.
She olake Galamsey ne egbememu ne shaya no lula fi.
Wake ke beke njibu no kaseva itamu no gwishi obalo.
We no ni ngona no bio.
So in as much as I walk and I trip my leg to a stone and I fall, doesn't mean I'll stop working or I'll not work again. I'll continue working. Because she be more You understand? So in as much as it's killed people, people will also say that Abia, they didn't take the safety precautions very well. That is why they are dead. Now, the NDC government has announced something about responsible mining. Now, listen, you go to this place, you go to Obuasi, Ashanti Gold. First, we are trying to gold fields Ghana. I want some part of shares, be an Ashanti Gold. Tell them, you guys, you are a company, you do responsible mining. Come. We want, but Ashanti Gold, they don't mine close to river bodies. They have been mining here for quite some time now. Come, these are youth. They also want to do what? Responsible mining. Teach them. Part of your concession, give it to them. Teach them how to do what? How to mine. Not close to a water body. The safety precautions you guys take. I know the equipment are expensive, but okay, fine. Government, procure some. Ashanti Gold, as part of your corporate social responsibility, that is a CSR, in trying to develop the country, the community whereby you find your company in. As part of it, okay, why don't you create job for these kids or for these young men? I get me. Now, creating job for these young men will lift a little bit burden of unemployment from the government. I get me. Now, these kids are engaged, or these young men are engaged, and there's no way a kid beyond 18, the labor law says that, or even the constitution outlines that when you are 18 years, you are considered to be what? An adult, and you can work. I get me. So a kid or a child beyond 18 years working, it's a no-go area. But because of the economic hardship, there is a worrying trend in Ghana. So the government should rather talk to these mining companies who are doing responsible mining to rather teach these youngsters in mining. Because honestly speaking, if anybody should tell you that we can put a halt to Galamsey, the person is telling you a great lie. Like as Kufuor said some time ago, corruption started from Adam. It's not here, it started from Adam. Slave trade, corruption. You understand? So get these companies on board. Tell them, as part of your corporate social responsibility, you are going to tone down on your tax a little, maybe a 2% reduction in your tax. Use that money, train these people. Your concession is here. Do responsible mining. Guide them. You understand? Because these people, if they engage in Galamsey, it's another source of revenue for the government. That is why the gold board is being set. So the government should step up with the fight against Galamsey. I think that will help. We continue losing lives over next year. We'll come and sit here and we'll say we've lost lives again. But yes, still, it goes on. And you ask yourself, the blue armies and blue marines and blue guard, the soldiers which are being deployed to these Galamsey areas, the police which are being deployed to these Galamsey areas, what's the essence? We are wasting state resources. And the other time I heard the gold board, the CEO of gold board, Sami Jefi, saying that they gave an amount of money, I think 150,000, I'm not sure about the amount, but they gave some amount of money and some vehicles to the Ghana Army to retool them to enhance their fight in what? In Galamsey. So if we cannot end this menace, then we are wasting state resources, honestly speaking.
If we cannot end this menace, then indeed we are wasting state resources. Many working or people will be segmented about nutrition, about nutrition or nutritional values. We can really comment sunny why as I'm going to do our only sunny why in young Bomocho, Keju Nino Banyage, none of our Kaya could tap or screen and no more. Facebook or get Noyaa TV. Yeah, Jimmy, like more, comment more, subscribe more. Me Okwa Derby. I record for YouTube when I know Noyaa TV. A morning show, breakfast show, and then there no call there. One from sure no banner.
Rise up strong, say no to drugs, say no to wrong. Pass the mic to the town, let's pledge. Chomi Abigail Aje, info la Noyaa TV kwemo. Peko amenibi papa ini amechio. Wa me kan for la Noyaa TV. For la Noyaa TV kwemo. Eja ke amebake han gandang me fe.
Chomi Adam Tena kote. Nchuo cashew nuchumo. The coffee. Yes, poto. Ni me recommend la Noyaa TV you there. Kefe kwemo la Noyaa TV. Ameba ke ha gandang be fe.
Big Bay Heti.
Chomi hu ade.
One count for la Noyaa TV can hang a fam.
Nye like ya, nye share ya, nye follow ame. Ye all social media platform. Ameba ke ha gandang be fe.
Chomi owusu dapa. Nchwani ye Abrimpo Legis ye East Legon. Wakeni ni enyo. Mpe la Noyaa TV. Ngona ka no koneken eba. Ni ba chon wo kusum ni wo ba kase no ni ji wo no eja ke shin woni bi papa ifen mewo ni station se fen ba fe tree me ka chante me ke ni bi na me ken ameken hewa anunya ye wode ewo ni la Noyaa TV ba ne won panye fa mo fian mo gbe ken wo nupa o gan dan gbe fen wo ka woni enyo amomi bia na me all social medias content una me here very educative ni ba wa gan dan gbe fen o won pe mo fian mo kemba la Noyaa TV
mingbe GT na bless minji the CEO of time in season beke bia talo nupa ka me ko to ka ji fen ko ba bi oba na iye George Alasan o ko asara je egbe no mi ka fo la Noyaa TV habo ha mo mi se ha mo tu ejole ewo mo fe mo ekwe ameba ha gadan gbe fen
Chomi oduesa mi we kenje la papa mo fi am follow na la Noyaa TV ame ji oni bi papa program papa no mo fi am follow la Noyaa TV YouTube Facebook Twitter everything I follow la Noyaa TV ame back ha gan adangbe fen
ya friend me dai na entry me pa madie me wo apapa oku asala Unity Sports nechi me kan fu la Noyaa TV am obi biara omo morning show morning tea sports any entertainment omo ba ma ga adangbe fo nyina obiara hwede bia ye hwe anije wo ho me kan fu ma mo obiara show Sabdi crazy yadomo hey Sabdi oh my DJ
Igbaji ene stop ana ni bia ne chini do mo mi to ma recommend la Noyaa TV mo fiamo nje la girl school iko la Noyaa TV dan ame ba ke han wo gan adangbe fen gan adangbe fen no mo fiamo ko ya wo mi no ko la Noyaa TV ame programs fe for ni ko bo nche o tase no go to ye o mi ba show yi about bo nga come lebi won afi oso mo papa ko be for obe TV en mi ame handles bi and they send only la Noyaa TV, Facebook with you, Instagram with you, Twitter with you.
Thank you for staying with us for that commercial break. We are back with stories. What new and okay, Sergeant Kokumeni, you were going to buy paying live man planning morning breakfast show la Noyaa TV okay. Oh yeah, no follow Facebook la Noyaa TV. I'm gonna YouTube okay la Noyaa TV. Many lifestyle what care about where only what care nutritional values in China then work for me what about nutritional values okay I get nutritional values there we are looking at the amount of protein, carbohydrates, vitamins, fats and oils namely what care nyaha bomochoe ni obakwa ni bi komeni sani wanya wa yake agani bi komeni esani men komen ba yake di amiye headline na gba komen wo me na ka obakwa adwawa enyoko ni wo yake dana ye wo sate nji akutu lofoke orange ke akwadu lofoke banana ni gogo ka obai chone ke sani name
yo be ke woko akutu nji orange unake orange is rich in vitamin C okay ni orange is good okay when you eat because akutumi ni enu what the roughage say it speed or up digestion omusu kotoku emi. Now again ke okọ banana lewe it is good in fiber as well. Ona calories it contains calories and what and potassium which is very good for the heart. Ona now ke okọ lewe akutu ke banana niji akwadue ehia bomotuwe ojugba ndenje shi esa je mo fe mo ni ehia le
yo mba be keji ochon akutue ke akwadue ehia akesane woye dabe at least keji da na polo ya akutu kome alo akwadu kome ehia bomotuwe shi wali yake me kome ni ye hila na ba kome esa na me yo ne ken bi ni chomo ne ken me ni sana
one akutue moje shika akutu money eye ulcer onufishi emusu be na efo ni yeli na eye ulcer because of the acidic nature of akutue wesa no the one esa ni oyo akutu on an empty stomach oyekoni lebi man faculty no boy akutu no even a drink here could because acid still dey be no in as much as ne hiambo the enough vitamins.
It's a weak acid for the
yes, it's a weak acid. Thank you. Oda still there is any nutrition. And again, those many lehuni oda keshi I mean allergies with citrus. I mean isani I mean your akutu.
But you know me fan many allergies allergic to citrus fruits.
Wana ke ye doctor no le mu why hospital doctor e ha go chufa you have to chufa ne ke ni e ni akai if the hospital na mi chufa na ke kai milk ke wo ulo da
e ba ke da ke ji o ko sipro
tuna e wo ke o doctor ke wa ke shi kai akutu o fine kai
agbena akwado na me alo me yo hela na agba ko me esan ameyo akwado
many your kidney disease ni unake ufufla we problem again akwadu ehin amu ke ubale ko many your diabetes because we feel like akwadu sugar una sickly ni diabetes diabetic patient is I mean you now many level like let's say they are allergic. I mean allergies. Care with the hospital any that for look at we back no. Nearly kai wo keji uliake well sometimes we have to study our body to the extent that she can you need look they can feel. And if you're restless. Do you understand? Go to the hospital and I check you up, can't check you up and doctor came. But you before going to the hospital you have to take a vivid care of yourself and note the things you eat. Make me here. I mean, you kati. I mean, people that. Make me here. Come here for. Onushi.
Ile mukoponi le akwado ye skenu na fe no etwina fafa.
Ile bi you. Ne die ye elder sister. Ebi akwado. Ke ya akwado bi ayere musu ba akole bi ayere. Ke eye banku dwe fufu joni akwado ko me pese da. If I should be able to one way, you want like for this lady, she's an allergy
to banana.
Yes.
Already, ni ochon nibi kumeni sani boye ke agbene nibi kumeni meni na me hila na boy kumeni ache me na me kidney problems me na me ulcer patient jan banya ka keji you are either peptic ulcer alo gastroesophageal ekofen ko alo eko ulcer ba ho kejore ne ke ulcer hila na kumeni akwado akutu esa no yo musuflo na lo keji oyeko ni esa no yo ulcer agbene kejo allergy so esa no yo banana ho kwa ke me ni diabetes keja kishi akwado like a sickly yemnjuba no like a diabetes sickly hilani o keji oliaka we ne ke hilani akwado kai alo kai no ko nyimi sickly fire mi chop and the nutritional values now what rate agwawa ayi ni minto on work about carbohydrates. Well, like a biane carbo, no more fear money. You cannot do away with carbohydrates. The fear body jam. Oh, buy a carbo no. Keji o kwe too much of carbohydrate many bani if you can buy
Una, we no put watch all the balanced diet. Una, the balanced diet obana in a portion few, in a few, they come together. That gives your body what? The healthiness it needs. Now, too much of carbohydrate in one constipation. Una, two, you would lose some of the nutritional value near kules and una ye kokomami. Ekoji kaji o laki protein. Kwashoko is there. Onushishi. Ekole we bangwe the shito also. Bangwe kabo. Shito the jenan. No kabo. Are you getting me? But ekole no ni pedal to attack in water. The water is you understand? The fact that you drink water doesn't mean you automatically replace water with other nutrients, vitamins, protein, it doesn't mean you are replacing them. The work one you need because of economic hardship in war. In watch 10 cities, Gary 2 cities, Gary a cabo, watch more than cabo. She move back the baby is a protein, and the is a protein. You understand? She at least says, I don't know. No get family, get substitute.
KG or Kwe, he like many bound, I can woman at the side, a genuine way. Earlier on, you were discussing within the passive or actually, he like many bound, I commend your environmental factors, some work and fumes from that Chonjiam. I mean, when you need a genuine, you're Ivania, how you like me.
Oh, yeah. KG let's say we follow vegetables, cabbage, we follow carrots. Can it be? The cabbage, carrots no follow, the vegetables no follow. If it if it means if you allow if it no ye, on a apple cream mix, no preserve lodge, but a wolf fridge me, a mashi, heat a mole, no ye, if I ain't born. Food poison, ke ona rani stomach ke ko pe na you know what be na here osusu me basuma so we have to be very careful. And again, make vegetables, especially carrot, because carrot no and it is exposed. So before we consume it, we have to wash it very well. If you don't wash it very well, no you get ilanye now cabbage nem ona ke towe ona ake bile yo sani ono pa ojuba ni mo nke ofolo o ke wo monu bi ni ojale ojuba. The salinity of the water will kill the germs or will eliminate them, so that when you eat it becomes cucumber. Ona no ni wo fe what the cucumber cucumber no is exposed. Omission ke oko in kawa ke papa ke ba ye cucumber ona ke warm ni is so called for like 10 to 15 minutes again if for you that if you mean you it is very good as well ona e won ni fe ni no ba akutupo o ba ke o be ma chomo yetu o mani o no me wo for he down e ja ke e wo mu je mo ni no ke ba mo mi the germs will stick to your hands. Ni ke o ba mi ni o ye mi ni e ko na e only dey aside, then you put the germs back into you. E won no fe no no ba yes and wo fe mi won ni wo for he ojugba mi.
Okay, you be no fi on oba ye sani won ye wo for jogba won ye wo we mo me lolo ni keje be ni wo jenshi wo kwe people review segment wo kwe sanjin koko me wo kwe amino wo ba this wo big discussion energy about nutritional values wo kwe akutu importance living can have more trick I will mainly keja me hela na gba ko me sana na kana wo kwe akwadu banana lo wo kwe akake ehiwa ha gbo mo trick many usana me ke mainly sana me ka me hela na gba ko wo kwe no wo bada wo kwe carbohydrate what other nutritional values, what protein, what tell ni be near fan, okay? Keji oye jime no mo tru, okay? Ni be ne amenya. Komo bo mo tru, komo na ni ge yambo. Ni oye keji aga ka ye, o fa ne ka fe twesa ni oye. Le obagba, bo jo ke shida pe de ba ha, ma wo ke hani mene program ne fe hwehwe, wo ke shida ba wa ne menu. Yuji ni ye o chame alo le ji mo ni wa mi kene tuma ni yuji wo ke o ya do.
you will know.
Yo, about channel ni more like a baby bay, Kawasha, Wabaf, Pashu, she mom. Okay, yeah, no follow like away other programs ni near. Okay, it's been an insightful Friday morning here on Morning Tea Breakfast Show. La Noyaa TV, we've served you the headlines, the hotcakes, and of course those discussions that get Ghana talking. But before we go, we would like to look at the comments on Facebook and on YouTube. Where Facebook Gama Kingdom good morning, let keep up the good work. Again, which more when and now passing why and okay, which more papa. I've been David okay. Good morning, such a wonderful show. YouTube okay. Oh, good morning, great show. Interesting topic concerning the Baumia issue. Eugene. Oh,
yeah. And as we head into the weekend, remember and stay informed, stay safe, and never stop asking the right questions. We'll be back on Monday with another fresh edition of Morning Tea.
Have
a great weekend, Ghana. Bye bye.
Doris Jagboko Bene. Nkamishen pe la Noyaa TV to ebolo ifen onupai ke be. Ini adapitra misha adapitra. Nink ba fun pa no ma ha mo fen mo. Ake echencho. Ye neken station ne wo ba buen twemo ke ni kasemo ho. Da ho. O ba die no kokpo ni ba chon wo ni kasemo koken. Sane ba koken me share ke tumo ke nyamo bibi ni wabanya wo fe ke ha wo ma no ya ke ha wo nyeme bibi ni bagba ku ehu no ya o blantai ke bibi fe meni ye school ke meni be school fe mo ba gbe mo fe mo ni wonya ke ye ni kase mo me ni bi ni wo ba yue he e ko me ba do mo shike ha CCHD say program ka gbene absolute healthcare the diana to New York ke ha gbo mo no ya one yes ni bi slot de bibi ni ba wo ma na mo ke ni bi ni ba hele ma shi ke ni bi ni wo fe wo ba nya wo susuwe ni e ha ni wo no ya ahwele ye la ma mi ke ha la ma bi wo be ke nyen nu gbe ye mi twa da fi na ke echenchon wo ba pu e shi ke no ko ye ne ke pa ne no ye ne ke TV station ne ni da ho wo ba ji wo he chile ke no ko ken wo be nye pa gbe e baba echenchon e ba pu e nye radon ke mi tuebo
Bena ke cho mi je ulanga swele lai mi je onupa ke hani kase mo gbeni fe mo ni kase mo gbeni fe mo ne wa bona fe ni garie mo e ya no na kan pepepe la Noyaa TV hu ka me kon e wo shishin bona fe ni kase mo ne ke gbe koko me fe ni fata he enye ni e ya no ameje gbaja no toko ni nsumo ni amewo gadangbe no ke ha gadangbe bi fe wo ke enye fata wo he ni wo no
yo ayemi me Achomi Ovula Alfredos Nianyete ni midomo la Director for Municipal Assembly na as Chief Executive ni domo wo ni me wono TV station la Noyaa TV ni amebo mode wa ame John ni bi ni han wo kase ni bi pi e wo masumo ake ho ma bi fe bi orana the Kamabata TV here ni wo so wa channel ke ya la Noyaa TV ni kase mo ke mi se na mo na me chon wo fe wona ni wo kwe ni ekudo wo ni fe mo ke wala shinle mi la Noyaa TV
ye fa na cho mi atwe Sarah ngbe fe di Sarah sechi ho ne la apapa oku asala inshapo egbeji mega grace beke benefe la Noyaa TV nkwo kenye na nta shedi ne hie phone mi nkwe la Noyaa TV aja ka meji oni bi papai ye no amechon wo ne ame wo nga ye ni bi srote na meji amechon wo mi mo fe mo na nga wo kejo mi ne mi na ke ameba ke ha gadan mi efe ni no fe no ni ameji o wo ke kase oni e wo min kase ni bi pi
La Noyaa TV #1 station in Labadi. Come on, station ko be. Je ni mi fi mention La Noyaa TV #1. Yo, mo fiam support la Noyo. Benye le ake Labadi e wo noni. Labadi is the money land. Large gateway to Africa. Ni La Noyaa TV e bi ene wo na me. I'm Baba Rolex from Labadi. La man fem for me Germany in jail. Keep watching La Noyaa TV #1. Mwah.
Achomi Agnes Mensah. Each one is professional city managers. Main council la Noyaa TV keha nyefe keha ni bi pakpa na amejio educative and entertainment programs na me feel da keda ameba akeshamba wala manfe ke ganda ngbe fe ewo main council ameke hanye akemofiamo akwe ame la Noyaa TV the best e ba ke ha ga dangbe fe onye fe nya wo mami ye chiko memi bye bye
Fa cho Millicent na kwale kote in shop egbeji me kwati ni says clothing where la oko asra e fine what feel ni bi babao to mo work wedding gown work suits women's suits men's wear but what feel neke palazzo ne bane work ni bi babao or me recommend la Noyaa TV ke hanye ake mo fe mo akwe ke ha entertainment ni amefio ni kase mo ni yo jeme kono wonya wakase ni bi papa eke jeme eja ke ame ba ke ha gandangbe di fenke
Achomi Abigail Aje ifo la Noyaa TV kwemo ke ko ameni bi papa ni amejio wo me kanfo la Noyaa TV for la Noyaa TV kwemo eja ke ame ba ke ha gandangbe fe
Achomi Adam Tena kote ncho cashew no chumo the coffee yes poto ni me recommend la Noyaa TV you there kefe kwemo la Noyaa TV ame ba ke ha gandangbe fe
Igbe eji heti
Achomi hu ade
won kan for la Noyaa TV ken hanye fem
nye like ya nye share ya nye follow ame ye all social media platform ame ba ken ha gandangbe fe
Achomi owusu dapa ncho ni Abrimpo Legis ye East Legon wokeni ni enyo mpe la Noyaa TV ngona ga noko neken eba ni ba chon wo kusum ni wo ba kase no ni ji wo no eja ke shin woni bi papa ifen nmewo ni station se fen ba fe tree me ka chante me ke ni bi na me ken ameke hewa anunya ye wode ewo ni la Noyaa TV ba ne won panye fa mo fian mo gbe ken wo nupa o gan dangbe fin wo ka woni enyo amomi bia na me all social medias content una me here very educative ni ba wa gan dangbe fin won pe mo fian mo ken ba la Noyaa TV
Mingbe GT na bless. Minji the CEO of time in season. Beke bia talo nupa e kame kotoka ji fin ko babi obana. Iye George Alasan okwa asera je egbe no. Mi ka for la Noyaa TV e habo. E ha mo mi she, e ha mo twe jole. E wo mo fe mo ekwe. Ameba ha gadan gbe fin.
Achomi oduesa, mi we kenje la papa. Mo fi am follow na la Noyaa TV. Ame ji oni bi papa program papa no mo fi am follow la Noyaa TV. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, everything I follow la Noyaa TV. Ame back ha gan adangbe fin.
Your friend me die na entry. Me pa ma die. Me wo apapa oko asala. Unity Sports nechi. Me kan fo la Noyaa TV am obi biara. Omo morning show, morning tea, sports, any entertainment. Omo ba ma ga adangbe fo nyina. Obiara hwede bia ye hwe anije wo ho. Me kan fo ma mo obiara show Sabdi crazy yadomo hey Sabdi oh my DJ
Igbaji ene stop ana ni bia ne chini do mo mi to recommend la Noyaa TV mo fiamo nje la girl school iko la Noyaa TV dan ame ba ke ha wo gan adangbe fen gan adangbe fen no mo fiamo ko ya wo mi no ko la Noyaa TV ame programs fe for ni ko bo che o tase no oboto ye o mi ba show yi about bo nga come lebi wa fi oso mo papa ko be for obe TV enmi ame underspeed understand only fin la Noyaa TV Facebook jo Instagram jo Twitter jo ngbo ba che fi no ba che ya je mi no bo la Noyaa TV